Hello and welcome. I'm Vincent Makori. This is Africa 54. The United Nations is denouncing what it says were ruthless acts against civilians in the northeastern Nigerian town of Baga. The UN urged the Nigerian authorities on Tuesday to quickly restore law and order and create conditions which enable an investigation into mass killings of civilians in the town of Baga.
We deeply deplore the vicious, ruthless attacks against civilians in the northeastern Nigerian town of Baga, where Boko Haram has reportedly been operating since the 3rd of January. While the exact details remain unclear, what appears fairly certain is that mass killings and mass forced displacement have occurred. The deliberate targeting of civilians is clearly prohibited by international law, and we are very concerned at reports that there were children and elderly people among the victims.
Well, Nigerian military officials say that at least 150 people had been killed in clashes with Islamists in Baga, but the UN Human Rights Office noted that there were widely differing accounts. For some perspective, I am joined via Skype from Boston by Aminu Gamawa, an international lawyer, political commentator on African issues, and a fellow at Harvard University. Mr. Gamawa, welcome. And first question here is, what has been your thought on the Nigerian military handling of the issue of insecurity in the northeastern part of Nigeria?
Well, thank you for having me on the show. I would like to say that I have been in touch with the people that have been directly affected by this violence. And the people on the ground feel really hopeless, helpless, and they feel abandoned by their own government and by the international community as well. So many people have been displaced, and it seems like the military is really not very transparent in telling Nigerians and the international community what exactly is happening in the areas either captured by Boko Haram or attacked by Boko Haram. As I speak to you now, based on the sources from the Nigerian military, Baga is still under the control of Boko Haram, but still the army is saying that the number of the casualties, the people killed, released by Amnesty International and other eyewitness accounts, has been exaggerated. So the military is always out there trying to downplay the scale of the violence of Boko Haram, which really hasn't helped in understanding the magnitude of the problem and in also responding to it accordingly.
Now, the question is, Nigeria is supposed to have the biggest military in West Africa and perhaps in Africa. Is it the capacity or the will to do it that is lacking? Well,
I think it's both. If you look at the Nigerian military has performed really very well in other countries through the UN and ECOMOG peacekeeping operation. But many years of misrule, mismanagement, and corruption, and of course a deliberate undermining of the military by the successive civilian regime so that they incapacitate them to prevent them from conducting coup d'etat, and the massive corruption in the military leadership has contributed towards under-equipping, under-funding the army.
So, now, very quickly.
The question is, yes, there is the human resource is there, but they lack the equipment. The troops on the ground, the combat troops, complain that they don't have the necessary equipment they need to fight Boko Haram.
In very few seconds, the kids that are being used, who are these 10-year-old children who are being blown up?
Well, it's not yet clear, but according to a recent investigation conducted by police in Kano, after they arrested one of the girls that was sent as a suicide bomber, she was sent actually by her father, who is a member of Boko Haram. So some of the sect members brainwash their innocent kids and send them into the suicide mission. Some of them have detonated themselves and killed people, while others, the attack has been foiled by the police.
Really sad. Thanks a lot, Mr. Gamawa, for sharing your thoughts with us today. Well, Aminu Gamawa is an international lawyer, political commentator on African issues, and a fellow at Harvard University.